So I'm just going to talk about life cycle costing a little bit. One of the nice things about eTool and our template system is that each template includes not just the materials that go into the construction makeup, but also the people and equipment assumptions behind them as well. So if I go into this curtain walling one, we can see the kilograms of CO2 there for the superstructure, the materials, and there's a little bit of carbon in there, the people and equipment that are used as well. If I flick this into cost is essentially just another data set that sits behind all the people, equipment, and material energy elements that we have. And we see the cost presented over the life cycle: product stage, transport, construction, recurring, down on the right there, our materials, people and equipment. And the people and equipment are not massive impacts in terms of CO2. A lot of people probably ignore people and equipment impacts or make very high level assumptions for them, but we have detailed information in each template that references the predicted hours that people are coming to the site to build and maintain this curtain walling system. And that really amounts up in terms of pounds. You know, typically a building costs 50% of the building costs go into materials, and the other 50% go into building it. And maintenance, it's an even bigger picture. So if I jump into the people assumptions for this curtain walling template, we've got some maintenance checks there. Every 5 years, we've got somebody coming to clean the windows, 130 hours every year. We've got installation of windows and replacement of those as well. Again, CO2 quite small, pounds. We've got nearly £7 million for installing and maintaining this window system. Likewise, the materials in the template. Typically, there's a closer correlation here between CO2 and cost, but sometimes you'll get small amounts of material that are very high in cost and not so high in carbon. In here we have insulation, we have the framing and the window coating, but we also have mullions, transoms, the fixing brackets there. And all of these things add up to in both carbon and cost terms. So really powerful that the templates capture all of those impacts. So yeah, we do have a life cycle cost model here. Once we've populated all of the templates, added our operational energy templates, all our material templates, we essentially have a life cycle costing model. What we need to do if we're reporting for BREEAM is to export these results and finalize them for ISO 15686 compliant reporting. It's just a standard that sets out how life cycle costing should be reported. It's a little bit of an old standard now. There's some improved ones, but this is the one that's required for BREEAM. So to download all of this cost data, I do it from the cost tab here. I should just say actually with our costs as well that yeah, we have a cost database that sits behind in the back end of the tool, but it can be updated. You can scale costs up and down to match your project or your QS costs. If you would like to go to that level of detail, you can use the scale button here to scale costs up and down, or go back to the original. And the model's cost data sets are all scaled up accordingly. You can scale up individual templates as well. If this piling template was coming in significantly lower than or higher than the cost that are assumed in eTool, we can scale them up and down in the scale cost tab here. We can also, if we're using bulk upload to import the templates, we can also import the actual costs that are referenced in bulk upload if you are using a cost plan, and then your costs can match up exactly. But for reporting for BREEAM, yeah, we need to download these results. This is all of the costs across materials, people, energy, and equipment for each year of this study. I want to export that to a CSV file. I'm going to open up the CSV file. And this is all of that data from my model. I then need to open up, this is our LCC template. We send this, it's available on our website, or get in touch, we'll send you the most recent version. And I want to delete the impacts that are currently in there. There's some instructions here on what to do, but it's basically just copying and pasting the data from your model into this reporting template. Just copy all of that. This is 130 years, quite a long life expectancy. It could be whatever your model has been set at. This data then, once it's caught up with itself, is being applied in the spreadsheet, and it's factoring in the inflation rates here, discount rates, inflation rates for material, equipment, and people that's required for life cycle cost reporting. Then we can update these tables, so refresh these pivot tables. And we see the life cycle costs presented here. Just tidy them up a little bit, and you see that window maintenance every 5 years presented in this table. These are the kind of tables that need to be presented for 15686 compliant life cycle cost reports. And here we have the service life planning, so your maintenance, operational energy over 15 years, which is again referenced in the BREEAM and 2 requirements. Here we have a summary of the overall life cycle cost results, kind of table that's expected for this LCC report. And what you typically have here is your baseline results here, and I do the same process, copying into this other tab for my improved design, and that'll have some options on it, different window systems or different HVAC solutions, so the PV, whatever the option is. We'll also have those results summarized over 20 and 30 years. And yeah, BREEAM's fairly specific about the way this stuff needs to be presented. It's a little bit dry, although some might be interested in this table where you see the granularity of each element. Here's the finishes and internal finishes every 5 years, installing the carpet every 7 years. You know, there's some quite good information to pull out of these cost tables as well, if for those clients that are interested. Next step is then sticking into a report if you like. We have a template report that you're free to manipulate as you wish. Looks a little bit like this. Some fairly generic text surrounding life cycle cost standards and the process that's been followed, and we just update with a few project details and a graph there from the Excel, and I think the tables we normally stick in just as an appendix at the end of the report here. There's our appendices. So yeah, that's lifecycle costing. We do plan on automating this report fully from the tool, so it's just a case of running the report out of the tool as you do with our automated LCA reports. And that should be coming soon, but in the meantime, there's a well, what was that, 10-minute copy and paste job out of the tool to get your ISO compliant 15686 lifecycle cost report out of it. Okay, yeah, please get in touch if you have any questions, as always.